the one big change I'm making is after I got the headstock cover and everything powder coated, I've got I've had a horizontal countershaft assembly for this and motor and everything to set this up as a horizontal countershaft. I've got the guards for a vertical countershaft, and that's what I originally wanted to set up on this. This is what this headstock was set up before. That's what these two holes are for, is the vertical countershaft assembly. And I had not run across an assembly, and I was debating whether I wanted to go ahead and mount it with a horizontal countershaft on it, or if I wanted to try and track down vertical components. The horizontal assembly, like I say, it's a complete assembly, would work fine, and that's what I kind of planned on putting on, but it adds quite a bit of depth to the back of the lathe. It takes up quite a bit of real estate on the back. So I tracked one down on eBay here and found a reasonable price on a vertical countershaft, the bracketry. I'll have to transfer over the components off of my horizontal shaft, but that will all fit right on there. It's lacking a couple of pieces. The tensioner assembly handle is not, they're different on the two, so I've got to I'll fabricate one of those. That's not a major issue. And it seems like I noticed something else that I was missing, or just the stud that mounts it into the back of the bed. These are the vertical countershaft guards. I did have a set of those that I'd gotten quite a while back. So what I'm going to do is just swap out the top cover for these guards, and I'll tuck all my extra parts into the archives for my next project. Alright, well, here's kind of a little unboxing. Yesterday we got this vertical countershaft assembly in. It's an eBay purchase, and it said it was in good usable condition, and actually it's in very nice condition from the looks of it. Why, it's probably been repainted, but it's in very nice shape. Everything looks good on it. I don't see any repairs, no breaks, nothing bent up on it. So I'm going to go ahead and mount it in place, make sure I've got everything's going to line up right. Then we'll strip it out, sandblast it, and powder coat it to match the rest of the lathe, and we'll have the vertical countershaft assembly for this. I've got the material for the stand, so we'll be starting to weld up the stand, cut metal for the stand and weld it probably later today. But anyway, a little bit of forward progress, so I'm kind of excited to find this countershaft assembly. It didn't beat me up too bad on price, and it's in real good shape, so I think I did well there. Well, we've made some progress on our little Atlas lathe. We have finished assembling the tailstock, and we started fitting up our vertical countershaft assembly. We'll get back there in a minute and look that over a little bit closer. We've got the beginnings of a stand underneath it. We've got a drip pan that we folded up yesterday. We just got the corners tacked. We still have to go back and TIG weld them up. And the stand, the basic frame is there. We've got our fancy little cheap machine feet down underneath it. I'll put a link up above to that video if you haven't seen that. And I haven't painted anything up or actually finished it. I'm going to add at least one more brace across the bottom, because we'll build a nice little wooden tool chest that fits underneath there, a set of drawers, and probably little cubbies for all the accessories we've got for this little Atlas. And we'll wait until we get everything done and finalize where we want things, and then we'll go ahead and finish up the stand. And if we get back here to the vertical countershaft assembly, this is the vertical countershaft I found on eBay. We have the vertical mount itself, the motor mount, and the countershaft brackets up. But I'm just fitting everything up the way it is, just to make sure everything's going to work. This is actually the motor mount, I believe, probably for the 3rd horsepower Atlas motor. So the 1/2 horse motor that I've got that's going to go back on does not match up with this mount. It extends over the side. These two holes will match fine right here, but the outboard too, the mounting brackets are on down. I think I'm probably just going to cut a piece of 1/4-inch plate to go across there and mount it. Eventually, if I come across a motor mount assembly for a reasonable cost, why, I'll grab it and then swap them out. But I've already had the motor mounted on there just to see how everything fits. We've got everything lines up pretty well. We will probably set the motor in one more time. The way the wiring comes out with it out this side interferes with the vertical here, so we'll probably make that come out either the bottom or the this other side of the motor itself, and then it runs down through the hole in the back of the headstock and out to the front. We've got a big furnace forward reverse switch here that has run with this motor, and this has all been run before and tested. I don't know that if I'm going to use that switch or not. It's got some wear in it, and it's an awful big switch. I'd like to find one of the original forward reverse switches that mounts off of here and has your forward and reverse lever on top. But I've not run across one of those for a reasonable price, so I don't know exactly what we're going to do there. That can always be changed. We've got our guards mounted for our vertical countershaft. I think we're about ready to start tearing this back down again, and we'll pull this countershaft assembly and all these components apart. We'll take them apart and sandblast them and powder coat them so they match the rest of it. So that's a quick little overview of where we're at for right now. If you find these videos helpful, you might hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you like them. If you hit the bell notification, you'll know when I turn out a new video. And we're also loading these videos to our website at hillsgun.com. And leave any comments, suggestions you've got for me below. Thanks for taking the time to watch.